So after we connect to the student, we need to develop our learning materials. Okay, so we can pass this material through the connection to the network that we created. Okay, the framework that we created. So we need to develop asynchronous online learning material. So these are the core material. So you can have a synchronous session, but those should be supplement. Okay, not the core material, not the main material. So this kind of material need to be flexible enough so the student can access anytime, anywhere when they are online. At the same time, the same material can be converted in a format which the student can access even without internet. Okay. So the next thing is to establish the link. So this might took you some time to develop or improve the existing learning material and activities. So this is a survey that I shared with you just now at the program level. So the question is to ask the student to choose any of these 5 instructional materials, okay, learning materials that they think will be useful for them when they study at home. Study at home. So they can choose more than one. So this is a result for 3 cohort of the student. First year, so it's about 80% of the student respond. Second, about 90%. Third year is about 95% of the student respond. So altogether, third year we have about 60 plus students. This one we have also 60 plus students, and this one we have about 40 plus students. So this is our feedback. So most important thing, as you can see, is a note. The lecture notes is very important. Okay, the content. And then, as you can see, surprisingly, the online discussion is not very popular. Okay, you can see it's very low. Just 1/3 of the student like the online session. Okay, so there may be a lot of the reason. One of the reason because they're afraid that they don't have the good connection. And if you have an online session, then it's fixed time which they cannot commit. Maybe as when they return to home, they have so many commitment. Maybe they have to share the Wi-Fi with their family, their brother, sister. And some of them need to take care of their brother, sister to do some house chore and things like that. So that's the reason why we need to focus on the other things. So the online assignment is very popular. Okay. So I think a lot of you have this one already. So I think they need to do some assignment. They also realize it so that they can check themselves whether they understand the things that they learn. Then the next is about the video. So you can have a detailed video for every topic, or you can just have the short video to get the overview of what they're going to learn on that week. Then after that, based on the lecture note, they learn by the lecture note, and then based on the lecture note, they search for the additional information to complement with the lecture notes. Okay. So there are 2 things very important. We are focusing a lot on the content. So we develop the PowerPoint, we deliver the lecture note, but the context is also very important. Okay. We need to tell students why they need to go through the video, why they want to do it, what we expect them to learn. Okay, make it as clear as possible. So we don't discuss about assignment as this we'll discuss in another session about the assignment or assessment. Especially during this time, the alternative assessment will be required most of the cases, but we're not going to discuss in this session. And then the lecture note, for this one, I don't think anyone have any problem. We always have a lecture note ready. So what we're going to discuss now is the focusing on the video and also the online lectures. Okay, so it's a video recording or live streaming. So if you, as a lecturer, want to do both, maybe it's very time consuming and it's very demanding at this time, as we don't have much time and we need to deliver our teaching and students have to learn. So I will suggest you to focus on one of these rather than do both for the time being. Okay, and it's better to do the video recording rather than live streaming, as the video recording is more popular among students. Okay, rather than the live class. So there are a few reasons as we discussed. One because of internet connection. Another one because of the class actually. So if you ever record your lectures in the class and then watch it by yourself. So I don't think many of us do this, but if you notice, if you record what we're doing in the class and then watch it, and if you try to do it online, the outcome will be more or less similar. and it's very hard to make a very interesting class for 2 hours actually. So this is a video, so I'm not going to show here. I give you the link so you can click on the link using the PowerPoint that I give you. So it's just a reflection for us as a lecturers to think again if the lecturing is still the most effective way to deliver the content and actually to engage the student. But most importantly, the student will learn from our lectures. And this video I also share with my students for them to do their own reflection as well, because they also think that the lecture will be the most effective way for them to learn. They have to attend lectures, but actually they don't realize it. They don't learn too much from the lecture. They learn more when they do their self-study. Okay, so we're going to touch more about this later in the next few slides. So I'm going to discuss a bit about the video recording and live streaming. Okay, so first for the video recording, it's more flexible. Okay, and live streaming is not flexible. Then for video recording, basic internet connection is enough. Even though they have very basic 3G connection, they still manage to download the video, just that they take long time. But if they are very unstable internet connection, it's very hard for them to follow the live stream or live class. And the disadvantage for the video recording is that there's no interactions. So we don't know whether the student watched the video. We don't know whether they have the questions, how much they understand. And with the online video, somehow we can see the student face. But again, if you ask the student to on their webcam, it's going to consume a lot of the data and you make the session very heavy, okay, and very demanding for them. And unless we can give a very interesting lecture, if not, the lecture is still lacking of the good interaction anyway. So based on the internet connection and things like that. So I think the video recording is still the best option for time being. So this is just to share with you. So we know that now students get 1 gig data per day, okay, from the Malaysian government. So we will be worried whether 1 gig is enough. So actually 1 gig data is just enough for the student, okay, to continue their study, not to do other things. So for example, okay, I use 3 different platforms that I tried. So for example, from the Zoom session, which user on the video, so it's about 250 megabyte for 1 hour session. And for the recording, after they upload to YouTube, and when they download the 2 hour session, it will take about 200 megabyte. Okay, so these are so I'm using the free 1 gig that provided by the government to test how good is it. So Microsoft Teams is more or less similar, the amount of the data they require, also amount of data that required to download the video after the session is finished. Then for the recording, okay, if you have the video recording that you upload to YouTube and then student download the video by using the YouTube apps, okay, not to download the raw video, but just to download video in their apps. So these are the step by step that I share with students, teach them how to download the video and organize the video in their YouTube app, so that when they have a good connection or during the night when they are sleeping, they can download the video. Then the next morning they can access the video offline, okay, by their apps. Okay, so you don't have to do it yourself. You just share this with your students so they will learn how to do it. So with 2 hours of the lectures, so 11 videos. So this is 2 weeks of lectures. If you make video, the lecture will become shorter. Just like this session, just now we did it for 2 hours. But if you see the video, it's quite short. It's much shorter. Okay, and the amount of the data is very similar. So as a rule of thumb, 1 hour live streaming require about 150 megabyte data. And if you make 1 hour video recording, students also need to spend almost the same amount of data to download the video. But the advantage for the video recording is that the student always can rewatch the video after they download. But for a live session, there's no way they can rewatch the live session. They only can see the recording. If they want to see the recording, they are required to spend more data to download the recording. So actually it's double of the amount of the data they need to spend. So I give you some things. So discuss a bit general about the video and things like that. But here I'm going to give you more to think more about the lecture note we give the student and so the video that we make. Okay, more details. So about the note. So for this one, we already have it, but most of the time we forgot about the context. We just give them the lecture note. So lecture note basically is just the content, not the context. And from the survey, I think 90% of us don't really know some basic tools or theory or principle about teaching and learning. So this is one of the instructional design principle. So it's a 9 event of instruction. So for learning to happen, it's more than just present the content. So we are focusing too much on the present of content. What technology we want to use to produce the content, what technology we want to use to deliver the content. But actually there are still many parts of the learning, okay? Many aspects of the learning that we need to know, okay? The instructional design that we need to do to make sure the student have an effective learning experience. Okay? So for example, in this course, you realize it, I gain your attention very early, 2 to 3 days ago. I also emphasize the objective. I also ask you to reflect, ask you some questions to reflect. Okay, so you can relate your previous experience with this session. Okay, so and then you have the guidance. So for this one, we do not do, but I will be happy to respond to you if you have any question and the assessment and things like that. So for this one, Prof. Vincent will talk about this, about the alternative assessment. So if you want to learn more, you can follow this link. This has a very brief introduction. And once you're ready, if you want to learn more, you can Google more. Okay, there are a lot of the video explain this. So I'm not going to go into detail. So don't forget about the context. So this is the content and this is the context. You should not forget about the context. It's very important. Okay. So write a clear instructions or use Smart UMS or other platform. So even though you use Smart UMS, the students still can download the instruction when they are online. Or you can save the instruction, download from Smart UMS and save it and then pass it to students. Okay. So they can access offline. So you need to write detailed as possible that just like you're talking to them. So this will take time to write, but you just have to do it once. And from time to time, get the feedback from students. If there are some part that is unclear, add more clarity, but try to not to write too much because the student don't like to read too many details. They only want to know what they need to do, why they need to do it, how they're going to do it. Okay, so these are the 3 questions they want to know. So we need to link the material with their experience, with the assignment, and align to our learning outcome properly. So these are the video to show the student. So this is for students specifically to download, how to download the material from Smart UMS, keep it so they can access offline. Okay, so you can share this with your student as well. So this is an example. So we have to organize, arrange it. Okay, and then with the narrative, the student can navigate themselves, go through one by one, and then you have a tutorial or assignment, make the instruction as clear as possible. Okay, because we have to remember, we have to make it easy for students to take control of their learning, to do the centered learning, and do it remotely without our presence. Okay, as a lecture. So for tutorial, for assignment, make it clear. And then for every assignment, make a very clear rubric. Okay, so it's easy for them, so they will not ask you a lot of the questions about what is it okay, their assignment. So give them the guideline. Let them know what is the expectation, help them to set their goal, and help them to check their own performance. So if you want to know how to do it in the Smart UMS, so you can refer to this manual. So this manual is quite thick, it's about 160 pages. But if you don't have to go through everything, just for this part, you just have to go through this chapter, just a few 10 pages. Okay, and there's an introduction of this book. So you can click on this form, fill out your information. Before submit, there's a link for you to download. Okay, just submit and then download the book. It's free. So this book is mainly for Smart 2. If you use Smart 3, the step is still the same, but the user interface is different. At the same time, don't forget to read the text description to give you some guide why you need to do this. Okay. So another things I would like to share with you is continue to what we discussed. We focus a lot on contents lecture. So actually this is part of the demonstration. So there are other parts we need to work on as well to promote student learning. Okay, to help them to learn. It's not that help us to teach. So this is another principle. So this thing is quite old. Okay, but I think this is quite good. Okay, it's very basic principle about the instructional design. So we are focusing on this. So learning is promoted when new knowledge is demonstrated to the learner. So that's the reason why we give lectures, we interact with students, we have the lab sessions, and so on and so forth. But this is not sufficient to have an effective learning, to make the learning happen. There are still other components. For example, how we engage a student to solve the real world problem. So it's related to the assignment that we give them, the assessment that we do, okay? And how we connect the new knowledge to their existing knowledge. Did we do the peer course survey to know their level, what they know, what they didn't know, and what their level? And we also need to have an opportunity for them to apply. So if just give them the opportunity to during their final exam to memorize and then just recall and then give the standard answer to standard question, actually this does not really help them to apply. And we really need to integrate this knowledge to their work. Okay, make them have the ownership. Okay, feeling to their assignment or test assessment. So this is easier than said than done, but this is routines that we need to take into the consideration together with the Gagne 9 events of instruction. So when we develop the context, okay. So for you video, so this is more specific. Okay, I'm not going to go more detail. So this is it. Use short video, 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, just like what I did now. Okay. So if you have time, play original video. But if you want to use some figure or things like that, maybe some worry about it. And you also don't want to share it publicly. So there's a way how you can do it. Just follow this step by step. Okay. This is just an introduction, not the only way. One of the way how you can find free image. You can use it freely without worry about copyright. And how to record the video. And then the next thing is how to upload and also manage in the YouTube. Okay? If you don't have time, just find some good video at YouTube, existing video. You don't have to make your own, but you have to organize and curate them properly. Okay. So just a few more points about the videos because these are the resources really good for students, useful for students. So the original video or video for external source. So original is made by you. So this is the one that you search from YouTube or things like that. So if you upload your original video, you can access the learning analytics. But if you use other people's video, you don't see the analytics. Okay. And of course, if possible, if there's a very good video available, why you need to make your own? So just make use of the other people's video. Just give the student the link. Okay. But one thing is need to be keep in mind is that for the video that they develop by ourselves, for example, 1 week lectures, we have 10 videos. If we make all the 10 videos by ourselves, then the all the video is more coherent, so it's, the flow will be better, logical flow, and we can make sure that it's connected to one and the other. If we compare the video from the existing video, then there will be all this video have a very low conformity and coherency. But this is you still have a way to fix it, so you have to make a very clear instruction how to and write something to link all this video together. Okay, make a storyline. So this is a video. Okay? So don't worry about the video. If you make your own video, this is how you get. Okay, you get an analytics. So don't worry too much about when the student don't watch your video. Okay, it's very hard to force them to watch. They only will do something as an adult. You only will watch a video if there's a need. So that's the reason why the other part of the teaching and learning, for example, to give them assignment and things like that is very important to force them or to allow them to have the opportunity to use the video to improve their learning, okay, to test their understanding. So here to show you the piece. So for example, this is a semester start and this is during MCO. So this one, I don't really do anything. So I just give them the video. I give them all the instructions, all the assignments, and I only meet them once a week during the live session, 1 hour or 2 hours, and only 1/3 of the students attend the live session. As we can see before in the survey, actually they don't attend doesn't mean that they don't like you, just that they think it's not necessary. Okay. Similarly, some of them maybe they attend your live session, they just pass on lecture note, they don't they don't watch your video, they still can manage to understand. So it's up to them. Make it flexible. We have a diverse learner. Okay. So I can share with you. So for this just share something. So I have 2 courses. So 2 courses. And during this period of NCO for the syllabus video, we have 34 for each of the courses. So it's different videos. And then for this one, it's 65 students. For this one, we have 438. As you can see, if every student watch only once, so this is the total view that I expect. So this is what I expect. from this course, and this is also what I accept in this course. Altogether is about 7,000. But if you can see the view, actually is close to 9,000 something. Okay, and we still have to remember some of the students they re-download the video, so they already watch it in their own computer at their own time in their smartphone, and this data is not collected and is not calculated and captured by the YouTube analytics. So that means that the student can continue learning. We just need to create an environment to force them to learn. Okay. So to sum it up, so we need to establish a most effective communication method. Okay. Develop asynchronous online learning material so the student can connect at their own space and time without internet. So I think we already covered this one and this one, but I have not touched about this. How about without internet? How we can deliver all this to students or student access all this without internet? So this is my action, so you don't have to follow, but I just want to share with you. So what I did 3 days after the MCO, I told them if they cannot access the internet, as most of them still need around EKK, or I can help them to top up. It's not going to cost me a lot, okay? Because to download all my video, they only need 2 gig of data. So to 2 gig of data, it just costs a few ringgit, 3 ringgit or something like that. So they just need to make sure their phone have enough space, okay, to download all the video in one go. Then they can access anytime over the months. And after a week, so after discuss with the student, so in addition to the online material, for those who have access to the internet to access the same material, I can help them to top up if they want. If not, then I will save all this in a digital format. Okay, for example, the detailed instruction is about 9,000 words from every week, every tutorial, every assignment in detail. It's just like a study guide. Then complement with the videos. Altogether for this one course is about 80 to 90 videos. So altogether 13 hours. Okay. So the amount of data is very small. So just 2 gig of the SD card is good enough. So I can save it in one SD card together with an empty envelope. Then put these two in a bigger envelope and then send it to them. Okay. If they are away at home from home, then I can send this to them. If they are still nearby, I can just ask the Grab delivery to pass this information to them. So after they finish the assignment, they can save their assignment in the pen drive, put in the envelope that I provide to them. They don't have to spend anything, and then send it back to me after they complete everything. Okay, so they can learn by themselves, but we need to engage them and guide them. For this one, I'm going to talk about this in the next few sessions. Okay, next few topics. Okay, so this is very important. First, we need to connect to them. So you can see I spend a lot of time to emphasize on this connect. Okay, establish a connection, and then develop a user-friendly, flexible learning materials they can access online. So we want to connect them with WhatsApp. Okay, make them connect with the learning materials. Okay, so this is the first step. C.